Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's your boy Unlimited Production, and I'm joined with my big brother in the game, the meanest man on these gaming streets. He's a dude that you don't want to fuck with. My brother E-Rock X, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is E-Rock X, the Don King of Xbox, the hype man for the Xbox brand. And whenever the bat signal goes up or the Green Lantern signal, that means it's time for an impromptu unlimited truth, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, hey, today, man, it's just one on one with me and E-Rock. We both busy dudes and got lives, but I want to talk on this issue today, man. Because so recently I've been extremely disconnected with the gaming community, E-Rock, and it's for one simple reason: because this community just does nothing but bitch so much that I'm not gonna let them kill my enjoyment for video games because they don't fucking like anything. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about the same community, E-Rock, that just when a game gets delayed, they bitch. When a game isn't delayed, they bitch. And at this point, man, I'm
If the
not
game
gonna
comes out, they bitch.
yeah, exactly. When it comes out, they bitch. And at this point, E-Rock, I'm not gonna sit here and be excited for Starfield or Gotham Knights or Hogwarts Legacy or High on Life and just hear nothing but constant negativity all the fucking time. I mean, you type in Starfield into YouTube, your first search results are going to be negative videos for some fucking reason, and I just don't understand that. And I'm calling out the gaming community today because Iraq, I am sick and tired of it. It's like it's one thing. You know what bothers me, Iraq? They never say They never just say, "Hey man, this game ain't for me," and keep it moving. They always got to make these. They always got to just hammer it into you every fucking day about how this game looks trash. Uh, I mean, for the love of God, the gaming community doesn't have faith in Bethesda making their first new IP in 25 years with Starfield. All I ever see is, "Oh, I'm concerned about this game." You're really concerned about Starfield after the massive success that Fallout 4 or Skyrim had. I mean, my God. But the one that the reason why I wanted to call you here, E Rock, is because it's one thing when I see bitching about game being delayed. That's kind of just gonna happen. It's another thing, and when I showed you earlier today about people bitching about a game that's coming out like Gotham Knights, where they're saying, "Oh, the game that should have been delayed isn't on," and it's like, my God, do you people enjoy anything? Do you? I mean, E-Rock, man, let me get your 2 cents on this one because you've been in this gaming world longer than I have, and you've experienced more bullshit than even I do, and I'm at my wits' ends with just these gamers don't like nothing, E-Rock.
I hope I'm coming in loud and clear.
Yeah, you are.
I should use my other headphones. I've been sort of disconnected and disenfranchised with the gaming community for well over a year now, maybe longer,
Hmm.
ever since the Exile podcast started and the launch of the Xbox Series X. All of the stuff I was going through with Griffin Gaming and him sending racist to my channel. And it's one of the main reasons why I finally in 2020 turned comments off because I just put up with the dumb shit for years. Unlimited production of people coming to the E-Rock X channel and, oh, why are you playing Super Lucky's Tales? It's stupid. Or why are you playing State of Decay? That's dumb. The graphics. Or why are you playing Sea of Thieves out there in this high seas in the lonely boat? You should be playing God of War. You know, it, I look at the gaming community and I see a bunch of people who, and you just said it so well, they're never happy about anything. There's no excitement about gaming anymore. And, you know, if you're not excited about gaming anymore, that's your prerogative. But I mean, get out, find
Yeah.
something else to do. Don't ruin everybody else's excitement for these games. Um, Me personally, my hype level for Gotham Knights isn't as high as it is for Hogwarts Legacy because
Hmm.
I know one thing and one fact, one crystal clear fact, bruh.
Right.
Rocksteady delivers.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I can guarantee you, and if not, I'll give a public apology on the Iraq X channel or on the Unlimited Truth or the Xbox Alpha podcast or even the Xbox Lions Den, if he can ever have a time that's not at 3 o'clock in the morning or 9 a.m., I can guarantee you, Unlimited Production, that Gotham Knights is going to be unfucking believable. Do you know why? Because all the Arkham games, uh, all of them, Batman, Arkham City, Arkham
Mhm.
Asylum, they were all amazing. Even the
Yeah.
last one,
Arkham
Gotham
Knight.
Knights, they were all absolutely amazing. And um, Batman Arkham Asylum, which came out in 2009, which nobody was
Mhm.
expecting, changed the entire game. It
Yep.
People were comparing it to BioShock. It was the BioShock of superhero games,
Yep.
and did more then in a superhero game than Spider-Man did in 2018.
Oh, way
So
more impact.
I can guarantee you get to control. See, if you're not a DC fan, then maybe your hype level isn't up for it. But if you played any of the Arkham games, you know the quality. Instead of just playing Batman, you're going to be Batgirl. You're going to be Tim Drake.
Hmm.
You're going to be the Red Hood. Well,
Yep.
I wasn't into Red Hood that much, but in the game he seems like a complete badass.
Yeah.
So like I'm hyped up for this, and I guarantee you this gameplay mechanics is going to be far better than any superhero game out there today. But see,
Yeah.
here's the problem. The problem with Rocksteady's Gotham Knights is it's a multi-plat. It's not an
Yeah.
exclusive to any console. So
No.
automatically it's going to be passed off. It's going to be met with derision. It's going to be met with ambivalence from the gaming community, the same way as Starfield, a game that I'm very excited about because there's not a whole lot of RPGs in outer space being made. The last major RPG series that took place in outer space was the Mass Effect series. Mass Effect is over. So the
Yeah.
next obvious evolution in that is Todd Howard and his crew making a goddamn RPG in outer space where you get to go from planet to planet and do Lord knows what. I'm excited about Starfield, and so would they be excited about Starfield Unlimited Production
Yeah.
if it was exclusive to their personal favorite box.
Yep.
That's who these gamers are now. That's who
Yep.
these people are. They're absolute lunatics. So to sit and say, well, the game that got delayed, the one game that should have got delayed, Gotham Knights didn't get delayed. Like, so I don't understand the logic in that whatsoever because the way these games have been getting delayed, and thank God that Gotham Knights is going gold and we'll be
Yeah.
playing in October. I'm amped up for it, man. I'm amped up for High on Life. A bit
Hmm.
disappointed, but this is the norm now. Delays, 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 delays. And in a separate subject or another video, we're going to talk about the lunacy of releasing every goddamn thing in 2023. But
Yeah. That we're going to talk about that, but we still got a lot of
yeah,
2022 left.
but to answer your question, these gamers, man, I don't I don't think they're really gamers, man. I think these are the same people who hyped up Elden Ring. Just keep that in mind. These
Yeah.
are the same people who hype up these Souls games, which are basically they've been the same thing now for 11, 12 years. These are the same people that are not going to play a Plague Tale Requiem looking spectacular. Like I don't know who Team Asobo is or how they're learning so fast. But my God, you saw the video for a Plague Tale Requiem the day that came out. This shit looks crazy. So as you just said, there's a lot to be excited for 2022 and unlimited production, man. I'm just glad to be gaming. My biggest worry is I can't afford all of this stuff, man. So thank God for Game Pass.
Yeah. Oh, hey, excellent, man. Excellent. Excellent point, E-Rock. And I want to point on a couple things you said. The first one, I want people to notice what E-Rock said. He said that he's more excited for Hogwarts Legacy than Gotham Knights. Now, for me, it's the opposite. But notice how he said it. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not mad at people who aren't excited for a game. My issue, as E-Rock pointed out, is that people feel this need, E-Rock, for some reason, to shit on games they're not interested in and do it so loudly and so abruptly. And it's one thing if it was just some random comment shit saying, "Oh, yeah, fuck this game." No, no, no. But E-Rock, it's these YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who for some reason can't help themselves, but every day shit on game after game after game after game after game. And like you said, if they don't like it, there are millions of other hobbies they could join. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see the point of constantly putting it out there on how these games are bad. Then you get upset when it get. That's what I really don't get, E-Rock. They hate on games like they did with Halo Infinite, where they hated it so much it was delayed for the year. It came out a year later, and they were still pissed off at the game. If gaming ain't for you, cool. But why, E-Rock? Do they have to try to kill our excitement? That's what I don't understand. I'm not going to stop loving gaming, but I'm also E-Rock, and this is why I stopped going on Twitter. This is why I stopped interacting with a lot of these other sites and places. I'm done trying to argue with people who just fucking hate gaming.
They live in a strange echo chamber that I've never seen before. Like we have so much now. Like we have so much. Like I'm trying to get caught up now with As Dusk Falls. I'm trying to get caught up with a masterpiece that came out last year under everybody's radar from Xbox called the Artful Escape.
Yep.
I'm trying to get caught up with all these games I didn't finish, and I still haven't finished Immortals Phoenix Rising. So
Right.
when we tell you we have a backlog, we have a backlog, and there's more stuff coming out soon, more stuff coming to Game Pass. I just don't see the point in just complaining nonstop. But they live in an echo chamber where on Twitter they all have to be in agreement. They're all miserable. Nobody's happy. Nobody enjoys gaming anymore. And these developers, man, I don't know why all these delays are happening, but I, I'm not going to say the developers are scared to release their games. That's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are looking at what happened in 2020 with the release of Cyberpunk
Yeah.
2077 and how that was just ripped apart. It was completely ripped apart for having a few bugs,
Mm-hmm.
and the graphics were bad, all because they tried to squeeze a next generation engine on last generation hardware.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, lesson learned. But I just
And
don't get it.
wait, and
I,
real quick, E-Rock, and,
yes,
and that's why Gotham Knights canceled the Xbox One and PS. Hey, Sega man, mute yourself. Yeah, hey, and that's why. Hold on, there's a lot of. All right, yeah, that's better. Yeah, and E-Rock,
can you
that's
guys
why.
hear me?
Hey, hey, mute
Sega
yourself,
man,
Sega man.
Sega man, go out and come back in.
Yeah, all right, yeah, but like I was trying to say, that's why I praised the developers of Gotham Knights when they canceled the Xbox One and PS4 version of the game, because I mean it's time to move on, man. Um, and look, and let's put things. I love putting things in perspective, E-Rock, and Cyberpunk 2077. I'm glad you brought that game up because that game, and this is going to sound insane, cost $316 million, $1 million
Jesus,
to make and market. Now, with all the issues, that game only made I think about $200 million as of today, right? So they lost out on $116 million
that's
all
more
because
than
of
any
negative.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're dealing with in today's gaming world, and that's why E-Rock, I don't get mad at Look at 100 says Sega man. Yeah, Sega man on that Obama phone.
What's up, 100?
You're a fool, 100. But yeah, like I was saying, man, that's why I don't get mad, E-Rock, at delays because dude, look, that's Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a perfect example. AAA game, $300 million budget, and it only made 200 million of it back. That means that the developers, CD Project Red, lost money. That means the publishers, WB Games, lost money on it. And in today's atmosphere, that could kill other developers, right?
Yeah,
Because that
yeah,
is a lot of freaking money to
yeah.
to lose on that. And so I'm not going to sit here with that kind of knowledge and then get pissy when a game is delayed. Even something like High Off Life, which is clearly not going to have a $300 million budget, but it still's got a multi-million dollar budget. Hey, delay the game to December. Make it as great as possible, because because when the game comes out, now it's got that Microsoft money backing it, so that game's a little safer than others. But still, I don't want to see a game that creative fail because the game released and it had a bug 3 minutes in. Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. And all the other dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Janelle, wow. Sega Man took the broadcasting course with Professor Tuck. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's why I stay off of Twitter. It's why I don't commiserate with these cats, man, because it's like I don't. Oh man, just wow. Like, do you guys even enjoy gaming anymore? Yeah, I'm a little bit upset that fucking WWE 2K22 released it crashes a lot. That's annoying. It's inexcusable for a product in 2022 to be crashing. But somehow inexplicably, as a wrestling fan and as a fan of wrestling games, I'm getting enjoyment out of it until eventually we get a wrestling game from Akai or Ukes again.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm disappointed that High on Life is delayed a month or so. But I mean, is it going to change my life to wait a month to play a game? I was very disappointed that Hogwarts Legacy. I was amped for that like a champ, but I'll just
Yeah.
play it in 2023. Um, you know, Now maybe my blood pressure will raise a bit if a Plague's Tale Requiem is pushed back. But at the way they've got videos coming out hot and heavy, I think that's ready to drop at any second. Um, Man, that's why I stay off of Twitter because they all exist in this vacuum. And you know me, I don't mind naming names. Guys
Mhm.
like Kid Smooth, guys like these guys don't ever. And I hate to keep bringing him up, but he disappoints me the most because
Right.
he used to be the guy that used to stand for common sense. Because these other guys, Broken Games HD, Crap
Mhm.
Gamer, Zaire, the Red Dragon, they don't stand for common sense anymore. And so, like, yeah, the delays they piss you off, but it's like there's nothing you can do about them. And the way these guys just shit on games, I've been seeing how they've been shitting on Gotham Knights. Why? Because you know that Rocksteady delivers, and that Gotham Knights is going to be 1,000 times better than Spider Man. It just
Hey,
is. It just
let me
is.
throw my conspiracy theory hat into the Gotham Knights hate, and I noticed it when it was first revealed in 2020. There's a that there's a certain fan base who sees it as a threat to their precious Spider-Man, which
Yep.
just went to PC, and
Yep.
I noticed that they've been extremely vocal too. So you got to combat that and the general negativity that comes with every fucking game these days anyway.
It's just madness, man. It's just and again, like I just said, man. My only problem this fall is like all these games coming out, man. I gotta budget myself. Like I know.
Yeah,
Well, but see, that's the beauty of I know I got to put out money for Gotham Knights, but I mean the beauty again of being in the Xbox ecosystem is that A Plague Tale Requiem and High on Life are both coming to Game Pass.
yeah,
Impediment that's a beautiful thing. But these guys on Twitter, man, it's just they're just miserable. The Red Dragon, the lot of them, they're just miserable, and you got to ask yourself why do you guys even game anymore if you clearly don't like this hobby? Like there's not a fan who's played the Batman Arkham games that's not excited about Gotham Knights. Like Gotham Knights just looks like it's going to be tight. To get the tear ass through Gotham City as Red Hood or
yeah.
fucking Batgirl for the first time, that just looks great. You know Rocksteady Steady delivers, just like the guy. Excuse me, the guys that made Mortal Kombat 11
Hmm.
and Injustice, they're going to deliver. And you know that Todd Howard and his team at Bethesda is going to deliver. But
Yeah.
again, it seems like if it's not a PlayStation exclusive,
Or
they
Japanese game.
or Japanese games, some crap like Elden Ring, they're ambivalent to it. And I gotta ask, are you guys even gamers? So that's my thoughts on it, man. I just tune those guys out.
Yeah. Hey man, and look, your course of action is the correct way to do it, E-Rock. And that's where I'm approaching it, man. Where I've reached a point, E-Rock, where I'm just done with them. I'm done listening to people who just hate everything, keep spewing their stupid opinions just to hate the next thing. Seriously, if you were to tell some people the only good game this year was fucking Elden Ring, and again, um that's what a 360 game basically. And Channel said, "Do we know the villains of Gotham Knights?" Yeah, pretty much everybody but the Joker and the Court of Owls. Now, for all my comic book
I
fans, probably
forgot.
don't
I
know who the
forgot.
court.
Yes, I forgot the quarter owls in this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dope in of itself.
yeah, exactly. Now, for those who don't know the Court of Owls, they are this amazing. They're relatively new. They came out around 2011 in the comics, right? And they're this hidden society in Gotham, and they're going to be the main villains of Gotham Knight. And you're gonna find you got to stop their conspiracy basically, and find out more about them. I think that using them as the villains in the game was actually was such a brilliant move, and that they're finally getting the limelight in a major, outside of comic book, a way to shine. And Sega Man, thank you for joining us, Sega Man. Me and Iraq and I, we're just doing something quick today. But since you want to join, hey, Sega Man, I want to get your thoughts here, man. This is something that I've noticed for a while. It's driven me to the point, Sega Man, where I'm just done with people who are hyper negative, who clearly don't enjoy gaming, and these big YouTubers who seem to hate everything. So I wanted to get your thoughts, Sega Man, while you're here. What are your thoughts on the gaming community's negativity, and how it's affecting even game development? Or yes, I do believe that a part of these delays we see is because no game developer want to go through what, as Erock says, Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't know if you're here, Sega Man. Cyberpunk cost $316 million
Mm-hmm.
to develop and promote, and only made 200 million back because of the backlash. What are your thoughts, my friend?
Well, I think it's a lot of pressure, out here, man. In the gaming streets when it comes to developers, man. All these people are always talking about where's the game at. They want them to get the game out. They want to get the game, and it seems like it's a lot of hypocrisy out here with this. I mean, let's just put a little bit of facts to it. All these people that are rah about wanting the games to come out, and they want the games and stuff. But a lot of these guys, to be honest with you, they don't even play games like that, man. Don't even play games like that. The real gamers like me, you, E-Rock, and he bought and the fellas out here, we can wait. You know what I mean? We got a nice backlog out here. We got our ultimate game pass. The best thing in gaming right now. You know what I mean? I can wait, man. I would rather them take their time and finish the game right. I'm willing. I'm waiting for the new Hellblade because I know that's going to be a fucking masterpiece for the
Mm-hmm.
Series X. It's going to be a masterpiece, and it's going to blow fucking Spider-Man, God of War, or whatever they think is the end-all be-all of a way a game should look. You know what I mean? Because it's going to blow all that shit out of the fucking water, man. And as far as these other guys out here like Dreamcast, Dick Snot, and all these motherfuckers out here talking shit, like I said before, they just want Microsoft's Xbox to fail so bad that they can't stop damage controlling. They couldn't stop doing it since 2013, but that did not make Xbox go away. You're not doing nothing but making Xbox stronger and better by your negativity. So keep that shit coming. Keep it coming, man. You know what I mean? Because you're not doing nothing but making them stronger, and they're starting to speak out. They're starting to speak out against all the fuckery out here when it comes to their product and what they want to present to gamers out there when it comes to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to keep doing that, yes, I'm tired of it too, Brother Unlimited and E-Rock. I am tired of it because we've been going through it for years since the Xbox One came out, the all-in-one console. We seen what their concept was and what they were trying to do. and we understood what they were trying to do. You know what I mean? So, like you guys said, I don't know why they just keep back and forth, all the time with this bullshit, man. Look, take the fucking L. It's over. It is over for Sony, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's over, dude. They can't catch up. They're crying and whining about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's going to take years to catch up. And all they had ample enough time to do it right. They really did. But yet they just wanted to keep raping, their consumer base by making, 1,000 remakes of the Last of Us, God of Swords, and all these other fucking games, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, what I don't understand for the life of me is how these supposedly gamers out here kept buying this shit, dude. They just kept buying it, so of course they're going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to land my plane on this one, man. Look, take the L. There's nothing you can do about it. If you want to join and you want to play great games and you want to, have, Ultimate Game Pass and play your games anywhere, it's just the best thing in gaming right now. There's nothing else you can do. If you don't want to own an Xbox, you got choices, man. You got choices. We always talk about this all the fucking time, dude. They have to find some kind of milk and cranny to try to get under people's skin. That shit doesn't work anymore. This is what I understand with them. You can make 1,000 podcasts. You can make 1,000 videos. All them fuck niggas out there like Red Dragon's bum ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you can keep doing that shit all fucking day, all year long. Xbox is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's getting better and better and better. You know what I mean? So either shut the fuck up, enjoy gaming, or, just give it up, man, because we're always going to be here on the front lines to expose your fucking asses, dude. We're always going to be here. Rather it be Hebot. Hebot just did another great video. Rather it be Unlimited Productions. I know Unlimited's getting tired of it, but he still comes out and says stuff. Or when E-Rock feels like it, he does it. And of course, 100 always does it. You know what I mean? So we're not going anywhere. So anything you guys got to say negative about our games, like delays or waiting for a game. We got such a good backlog. We're eating good over here. We can wait, man. We can definitely wait. You know what I'm saying? Hey. So that's what I got to say on that, brother Unlimited.
Oh, man. Actually, absolutely spectacular segment, man. And everything you said was spot on, man. And I'm with you, man. Let them hate, but hey, I got to say, I give E-Rock X all the credit in the world because he did the smart thing. He said, fuck Twitter. He got off and he hasn't been back since. And I'm right there with you. I have no plans jumping back on that cesspool anytime soon. Before I ask you guys our last question, because today's show not going to be nearly as long, just want to do something quick. Let me address the chat real quick, guys. Because Killer's Heaven said, I'd rather Starfield and Redfall instead of buggy and broken games like Gran Turismo 7 and Horizon for Bugged West. Yeah, man, and they related so that those games aren't bugged and broken and people hate on it because Xbox games don't get the benefit of the doubt for some reason. But that's it blows my mind, Killer's Heaven and E-Rock and Sega, man, that Bethesda is being questioned as if Starfield's their very first game. Yeah. And they don't know what they're doing.
Well, these guys are, I'm not to cut you off. These guys are so corny. They took to going after God damn it, who are they? One of my favorite publishers. They took to going after the guys that made Ubisoft. Yeah. Ubisoft's games, the Assassin's Creed trilogy came out with no bugs, downloadable content, tons of content, some free content. But y'all hate that now. Like you guys, you tell us who you are, Red Dragon, all these guys. You tell us who you are because basically, Sega man, those guys, they're looking for the next bandwagon to hop on. The next bandwagon for them is God of War. The last bandwagon for them was Elden Ring. They're bandwagon hoppers. You don't see these guys weren't anywhere telling everybody how great Plague Tale Innocence were. They weren't. And these same guys should right now be like, oh my God, did you see the video for A Plague's Tale Requiem? You want to talk about graphics and motion capture? This
Yeah,
shit looks better than anything on PlayStation fucking 5 or Xbox. Yeah,
yeah,
did you see the video for A Plague's Tale Requiem? Keep in mind now, Asobo Studios is a small French studio new to the game. The textures in those rocks, the textures in those flowers, but nobody's talking about it. Why? Because it's coming to Game Pass. Because it's a multiplat. You know the fuckery and the hypocrisy in this community is why I don't take these guys fucking seriously. But go on a minute.
Oh no, hey man, and before I get back to the comments, Soba, look, Microsoft, go ahead and buy Soba already. I know you
Please.
guys, I know you guys got the Activision deal, but I know Asobo ain't that expensive. You already work with them on Flight Simulator. You clearly got a business relationship with them. Put in the Plague's Tale. Both of them are on Game Pass or will be on Game Pass. Just go ahead and add them to the Xbox family. They're clearly worth every cent.
Hey, I remember that they need to do like Hustle Man for Martin. Like, yo, G, I'll buy
Yeah.
you for a cool 30 mil.
Yeah, man. And Channel said nobody was as brave as Rare launching Sea of Thieves. Yeah. And how did that turn out? 30 million players.
Magnificent. Yeah.
How many games can you say with a straight face have 30 million players, much less any exclusive on any platform? Maybe Nintendo might have that shit.
The shit they took, and I'm glad Chanel said that comment. Unlimited. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad you put that comment up there because it correlates with this what we're talking about today. No, they got a ton of shit from these people we're talking about. Red Dragon, Kid Smooth, Zaire, CZ's, diabetic dog shit. Your cracking is lacking. And now look, here they are going on what, like 5 years or 5 years strong,
Yeah.
right? Tons of downloadable content. The game is unrecognizable from when it first started. 30 million players, Rare's biggest game ever. And where's the game it was compared to ruthlessly God of War? They forgot about it. See, this is why you cannot invest yourself in these bigger YouTubers. But hey, man, far be it for me to tell people what to do. Follow who you want to follow. I can't fuck with these dudes because in 2018 I found out how fraudulent they are. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Unlimited.
No. Hey, man, you are absolutely spot on about everything with Sea of Thieves. That game is a runaway success. Again, 30 million players is you can't.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, for a new IP that came out of the game, and everybody apparently hated it. But hey, once again, look, Sea of Thieves is the story of Microsoft since 2013 in general. People wrote them off, and it turned out that yeah, they're extremely successful and way bigger than people thought. And let's see, Killers7 said he's interested in new Perfect Dark game. Yeah, we won't see that for a while, unfortunately. No, screw that. I'm going to defend Microsoft again because gamers, what did gamers say for years? Hey, we want a roadmap, right? You remember that roadmap bullshit? I remember,
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Mooch said that shit all the fucking time in like 2018. Oh, we need a roadmap. How am I going to invest in the Xbox if I don't know what's coming out? And how they bitch that these games are taking too long to make. Even though we know Xbox is good until like 2030 with how many games they showed. Uh, let's see. Real Gamer said give Xbox credit. He thought that they were finished at last generation and they're going to cancel Xbox, but they been competitive. Now they glad to see their competition with Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft is blowing both Nintendo and Sony away, and the money, the dollars, the most important aspect of it proves that, man. See, Jimmy Brown said they took the majority of flack for game delays. Yes, Microsoft takes crap for game delays more than everybody. That's undoubtedly true. Halo Infinite, people hate the fuck out of that game in 2020. It got delayed a year and they were still upset. You can't make that stuff up, guys. Let's see. There's I think I caught up with everything. All right. Yeah. And all right, guys. So we're gonna with our next topic. Usually I'm the guy who brings the news, but credit to Erock X, he's the one that actually showed this to me today, and that was this article about the PlayStation 5 potentially being Sony's last console. Now, I don't know how this happens, E-Rock, but every week somehow every week we are proven right, and it's always just fun just to talk about it because I don't know if anybody remember, but the PS4 was supposed to be Sony's last console, but it was so successful, it pretty much kept them afloat. It's pretty obvious that the PS5 is not having that same runaway success where it's just selling out the ass and because Xbox don't have the same level of hate. So I'm gonna start with you, E-Rock. What are your thoughts on that article you showed me earlier today about the PS5 potentially being Sony last console?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Sega Man and I talked about this about 2 months ago in a video he did about how if you've been around in gaming, some guys longer than myself, we knew a young lady that came on our podcast named Patricia, and
Yeah.
Sega Man himself, who goes back as far as some shit called the Odyssey. Like,
Mhm.
I've only been around since the Atari 2600 back in, my God, man, 1980, 1981. And we've seen them all come and go, man. I'm going to try to make this quick as possible. Just bear with me. We've seen the Atari 2600 come and go. The ColecoVision, which was actually from a company called the Connecticut Leather Company. Like, I didn't even know Coleco. They made fucking all kinds of shit, toys and shit. ColecoVision came and went. Um, who else? My God, so many
And
companies
television.
in television. Vectrex, the Atari Jaguar, more famously, Trip Hawkins, 3DO. Trip Hawkins is the founder of Electronic Arts. If
Yeah.
anybody should have made a console work, it should have been Trip Hawkins. A forgotten name in gaming. A black gentleman from back in the late 70s had a console called the Fairchild.
Mhm.
These consoles come and go. More notably, one of the most legendary companies of all time, Sega. Who would have
Yeah.
ever thought that Sega wouldn't be around in the hardware space anymore? Not I. These companies come and go. So while Colin Moriarty right now and all the PlayStation fans, especially Colin Moriarty, is about to write a 90-hour dissertation on why the industry will be less big if Sony and PlayStation leaves, I and Sega Man, who are in our 50s, know that it's 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 the changing of the guard. Think the only thing that stays around for long ass periods of time is governments, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and these movie studios that have been around since 1901, Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
MGM, Universal. But some things come and some things go. It's the way of the world. So to see that article today about I don't know how correct the article was or factual about Sony saying the PlayStation 5 might be their last console. It just might be. And we've given you enough reasons the last 2 years of the Exile podcast, the Unlimited Truth, the Xbox Alpha podcast of why. They just can't compete on a level playing field with Microsoft. I don't know what happened with Xbox, but they woke up one morning and realized they were a $675 billion company owned by a $2 trillion company. They should have obliterated Sony a long time ago. But we all know what happened. There's no need to keep going over history time and time again about how from 2013 to 2017, Sony cleverly was saved by the media. It is amazing, unlimited production. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is amazing because I don't want to be too long with that. I don't want to turn into my friend Hebot here. I love you, Hebot. It is amazing how the mind of Americans can be manipulated. E-Rob, what the fuck are you talking about? The DC hate over the last 8 years, which was unwarranted. The hate against Batman versus Superman, which was unwarranted. I didn't know what viral shit was in 2016. I left the movie theater, me and my buddy, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I didn't know that something could be viral and gain traction. Hating a movie, unlimited production, hating a movie star, Sega Man, hating a console, unlimited production. for 7 fucking years, right? So we sat around us Xbox guys and scratched our heads for 9 years wondering what all that Xbox One hate was about. It was a great console that was trying to bring the future, but apparently, according to the media and everybody, they just wanted to play games on a static fucking box. And because I didn't go along with that thought process, there was something wrong with me. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna have to let y'all do y'all. I'm going to do me and be over here on this Xbox One and be with the future. We sat and watched this stuff for a long time, right? But always in the back of my mind, I knew the passing of the guard. One of these companies aren't going to be around anymore. Sega, Xbox, or Nintendo. The long money said, the good money said that it was going to be Sony because Sony was saved unlimited production by the media last gen. Well, something weird happened this generation, as Unlimited Production said. Each generation is sort of like a restart or a refresh. The media wasn't there to help them out. The media wasn't there to say, "Oh, the Xbox Series X says DRM." They couldn't use resolution 1080p, 1080p, 1080p. They couldn't use games. They couldn't use graphics. There was no trick Sony could do this generation. So they had to produce on their own merit. And what's their own merit? Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo. Well, 2 of those IPs failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
So now you're down to what? 2 or 3? The Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man. And I said that cannot sustain a console. We saw Xbox do something crazy the last 5 years. We saw them invest in new IP. We saw them invest in not just buying game studios, Sega man. We saw them invest in buying publishers, which to me is unheard of. It's just unheard of. That'd be like WWE buying the UFC or Ultimate Fighting Championship buying WWE. That's unheard of that these guys bought publishers. But the main pinhole in Xbox's strategy and Microsoft's strategy was Game Pass, which was laughed at in 2017. It was ridiculed, right? Ain't nobody laughing no more because now the entire video game world is looking at Game Pass as the model for how a static console, a static company that sells static boxes. Static means the hardware can't be upgraded unless by software. The components are basically set, and then you got to do something dumb like a fucking mid-generation refresh. The boxes are static. So what Xbox did was they said, well, our focus now is Game Pass.
Yeah.
Our focus now is the cloud. Our focus now is outliving the box. And no one else was ready for this shit. Nintendo will be Nintendo. They will do what they're going to do. They will subsist off of Mario and Princess Peach until fucking the planet is ruled by rabbits again. So I have no explanation for that shit going on over there. But Sony, whose only way to survive was third party timed exclusivity deals with big name players like Call of Duty, timed exclusivity with a character like Spider-Man. Well, when a company like Xbox buys publishers, it takes away Starfield, takes away Crash Bandicoot, takes away Call of Duty, and now you no longer have any leverage. I think Sony now realizes that this is no longer the game they want to be in. And I'll give it another 6 years, maybe. I'll give it till this generation, and we'll see how their profit margins decline. Their stock has already been downgraded to junk. When Microsoft made the Activision announcement, Sony lost $2 billion in a day. This is not good. And we tried to tell you. He-Bot tried to tell you, but y'all attacked him. Granny Bot. Sega Man. Oh, look at Sega Man. E-Rock. Oh, look at this Orange Kitchen. Look, y'all attacked us. But you know what, man? It's okay. It's all right. I'm not Michael Patcher. I'm not a fucking business analyst. But I can do what Unlimited Production says is the eye test. I can see that Xbox has leveraged themselves out their ass with Game Pass, with buying ZeniMax and Bethesda, with buying Activision. They own over 30 or 50 intellectual properties now. It doesn't matter, Red Dragon, when the next Doom is coming out. It doesn't matter when the next Elder Scrolls is coming out. As long as Microsoft owns those IPs, they are not coming out on your box. End of game. Story is over. So there may be some validity to this article that Sony is contemplating the PlayStation 5 being their last console. I'd be sitting around thinking about it right now. If I was at Sony's headquarters, like, yo, we were late to this Game Pass shit. How do we transition now? What is our end game? Do we build another box? Do we spend another $1.2 billion in R&D, research and development to make a PlayStation 6? They made a commercial back in 2002 about the PlayStation 9 and how this console will be around for generations. Man, I don't think there's going to be a PlayStation 5.2. This it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good because the competition. Was Xbox ever really competition for y'all, or was that all just a lie? Because they have leveraged themselves to the point where Xbox, in some form or the other, will be around for the next 30, 40 years. What are you going to do when you're sitting on 30 or 40 intellectual property and shit we haven't even seen yet? Anybody heard of the Indiana Jones game? It's out there somewhere. Perfect Dark, it's out there somewhere. And Sony, what is their point of interest now? Spartacus? Spider-Man? God of War? Yeah, sure. You're going to get those casuals. You're going to get those Spider-Man fans. But Unlimited Production, Sega Man, that is a small piece of the pie compared to the millions that are waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 and the next Call of Duty, which eventually will be at Game Pass. Okay, so Unlimited Production, the fact that you're seeing these articles, the PlayStation 5 could be Sony's last console, there's some validity to that. And I'm not surprised by it. Me and Sega Man have seen these consoles come and go. And we said in a podcast no more than 2 months ago, Sega Man and myself, that Sony, it's their time, man. It's their time to go away. I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but I had to articulate and pontificate in a way that only I can. And let everybody know that this ain't nothing to be sad about, Colin Moriarty. This ain't nothing to be ambivalent about, Red Dragon. It happened to Sega. It happened to 3DO. Who are y'all to think that Sony was going to last for another 20 years? So, yeah, Unlimited Production. To answer your question, I believe the article is valid. I believe that somewhere Sony is sitting down looking at what they have lined up for the next 5 years, and it ain't good, man, because your timed exclusivity deals have been blown out of the water now that you no longer have Call of Duty.
Hey, yo, what's it that E-Rock says? Give him a round of applause. I don't know if anybody deserves a round of applause more than E-Rock right there. What he just said was so brilliantly put. You know, if Sega Man wasn't here, I would have just called it a show right there, man. That was wonderful. Hey, but before I get to Sega Man, hey, E-Rock, just to add to what you said, look, back in 2003, Nokia had the hottest phone in the world. Everybody had a Nokia.
What?
Everybody had a Nokia phone.
Boost Mobile? Nigga, what?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody had that phone. In 2007, what happened?
The iPhone came, and everybody's been playing catch up ever since.
Yep. And now Nokia is nowhere to be found. And we're talking about listen. Some of y'all might be a little too young to remember the phone market in 2003. When I said everybody had a Nokia, I mean everybody had a Nokia fucking phone on them.
It wasn't a brother in the hood wasn't heading to Boost Mobile.
Yeah. I mean, my goodness, and that's just in the cell phone business. So if you think it's not going to change in the video game market, in our lifetime, I don't know what to tell you, man. And Sega Man, I'm gonna pivot to you, and then we're going to address the comments and call it a night. But Sega Man, so E-Rock showed me this article about Sony saying that the PS5 may be their last console ever. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, man. What are your thoughts on if this is the end of the PlayStation console as we know it?
Hey, man, let's just say one thing first before we get to that, man. What you said, earlier about Sea of Thieves, right? And the brothers in here know this is a fact. Sea of Thieves has all those players. What was it, 30 million?
Yes.
30 million players. But nobody could never answer Sega Man's question. The IP is in-house with Microsoft, right? With Rare, which is Sea of Thieves. There is no original IP right now that Sony owns that has 30 million players. Am I right?
None.
None.
The only one they have
Matter of
is
fact,
Go ahead.
I can't think. Oh yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Sega Man, but I can't think of any original IP they have that really lit the world on fire. Because I can't. Really, can you say Horizon, that boring ass series? Can you say that is some great game that just took like even when Spider-Man was a hit, for them, that's Spider-Man been around since 1960 as a character, and in video games since the 80s, maybe even the late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. So you can't say Spider-Man was this massive new IP. God of War came out on the PlayStation 2. So that's not. So yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that.
And I do have. I'll show you guys someday. I do have the original Spider-Man cartridge. I still believe for the Atari, the first Spider-Man game.
Oh, nice.
I still have that. It's a little wear and tear, but nobody could never answer that question. You know what I mean? Because they don't. They rely on third party and second, like Call of Duty. Free to play games like Fortnite. Yes, they might have some players on there, but they do not have no in-house IP like Microsoft does that has millions of players. Forza Horizon, Halo, Gears, and Sea of Thieves. So they can't rebuttal that at all. You know what I mean? It just, they keep coming back because they keep adding more and more content, man. Sea of Thieves is it's a masterpiece, bro. It's a different art form and style. Everything doesn't have to look like God of War graphics. Like they think everything needs to look like God of War, and that God of War is the end all be all of graphics, which it's not, and it never will be. I'm not saying it doesn't look good and that it's not a good game that people like, but it's not the best graphical masterpiece of a game out there. It's just not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just wanted to say that real quick, Unlimited, because they always say stuff about their games, but those games are, like 100 said, for years, one and dones.
Yeah. Hey, Sega Man, before you get to the PS5 topic, and guys, how many billion-dollar franchises does Xbox own now? And Sony's got one, and that one flopped this year.
Yeah, they got Spider-Man, but like I mean, I find it crazy hanging your head on one fucking intellectual property that you don't own.
Yeah. There's not one game that they own right now that's like that. That used to be the one that used to be real big for them was Gran Turismo in the old PlayStation 1 days.
Yep, that's right.
That's the only one. They have nothing today. Microsoft has plenty. So that leads into the question of the day that our brother Unlimited says. I don't believe there is going to be another PlayStation, because, like I said before in videos, software is king, man. It's not the system. It's just not. Microsoft said they're already making another console. There's going to be another console after the Series X. There's going to be another console, man. You know what I mean? So Microsoft can do it. They have those long ass pockets. You know what I mean? And they're the software kings when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? Satya Nadella is all on board right now. That's a huge, big win for us as gamers that invested in the Microsoft Xbox ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think this could be honestly be their last PlayStation, dude. I honestly don't see them making another PlayStation. This is how I see Sony going. I see Sony going the way of Sega. I think they're going to put their games and their software that they've made onto other systems and PC.
It's already happened.
Right.
Yep. Well, my bad. It's already happening. They're going to be the show, Spider-Man, God of War. It's already happening.
Somebody showed me. I guess somebody made a bomb threat to Sony about putting Spider-Man on PC. I
Those
just
guys
remember
are
that shit,
crazy.
I
man.
mean, look, guys, they're not even inventive. I mean, you had the first Xbox, which was called the Xbox.
Mhm.
You had the second one, which was a fantastic system that's in the World Guinness Book, which is called the Xbox 360. It was the darling of that generation. It just was. You know what I mean? They had the PlayStation 3, and it was they used it Blu-ray and stuff like that. That's cool, but it still killed them all year round. They came back on their last legs. You know what I mean? The 360s was where it was at. Nobody was really talking about the PlayStation 3, to be honest with you. They just wasn't. When I was working at GameStop, you would hear it here and there, God of War, certain games, but the 360 was just flying. The games were flying off the shelf when I worked there. They just were. You know what I mean? And the Kinect was a huge success.
Right.
Now you have the Xbox One, which is different. It's the all-in-one console. But I mean, PlayStation has been known as PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some people say it might be like you said, PlayStation 9. They're not innovative. They have never changed the way their fucking controller looks. That's the worst controller I ever played with in my life. Seriously, I hate that controller. I don't like where the little sticks are. I never did. You know what I mean? I could play certain games like shoot 'em ups, but I just never liked that controller. It's a terrible controller. I hate it. You know what I mean? They're not innovative. You know what I mean? Like the new one, okay, I've holded it in my hand. I still don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I mean? They just want to stay in their old ways, guys. And people got to realize if you stay in your old ways, you're gonna be left behind, and they're real behind right now. Like they said, it's gonna take them a long time to catch up to Xbox with that Ultimate Game Pass, man. So I don't think I don't think they're gonna make another system. I don't see it happening. They're getting what they did to Sega. They're getting exactly what they did to Sega, man. That's what's happening right now. What they did to Sega and how they did them wrong.
Yeah.
I don't see another PlayStation. I really don't. I see their game going to
It's
PC.
Sega Man, not to cut you off, but Real Gamers says, Sega Man, don't say never now. If a PlayStation 6 comes out, someone's going to bring those words back to you, fam. Just warning how these folks are on the internet. And Real Gamers, you're right, but if you look at the
right.
if you look but guys, listen, and Real Gamers, listen, Sony used to be known for fucking build quality. Remember the PlayStation 1, the PS2, the PS3? Those were incredibly built pieces of hardware, especially the PS3 Fat, which I owned, 20 gigabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
The PS4 and the PS5, have you seen the build quality in those consoles? Not only that, but look at the trouble they're having getting silicone. As we said in the Exile podcast 2 years ago, Sega Man, Microsoft beat them on silicone. They beat them on silicone in every way possible. Listen, this is what I mean by they built them on silicone. It's easier for them to build Xbox Series S's and X's. They're getting them out quicker. They're getting them to retailers faster. They're not getting tied up in a supply chain, getting silicone. It's hard, apparently, for these guys to build PS5s. They're waiting for silicone, and when they do get them, the shit is buggy and not operating right. The build quality of PlayStation 5, that is the worst console, Sega Man, I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the Xbox 360 wasn't the original Xbox 360 wasn't a prize as far as build quality, but god damn, I told you this PS5 looks like it was built in a fucking Build-A-Bear workshop. Like they're going backwards, dude. They're going backwards. The iPhone gets better with each iteration. Samsung phones, Motorola phones, LG phones get better with each iteration. Sony's going backwards. That's never a good sign. And now, their leader Jim Ryan is coming out and saying we can't catch up with them. Like, dude, they're trending in the wrong direction.
They can't,
So
man.
Don't say that Sega Man is wrong just yet, because me and him seen crazier shit happen. Again, whoever thought Sega would have dropped out of hardware? Who'd ever thought that shit? So Sony's going in the opposite direction, man. You look at Microsoft, the Surface Pro team. These consoles are works of art, and the Xbox Series X. If you drop that on your foot, say goodbye to your foot. These are well built fucking machines, and the PS5. Look, it's a piece of junk. They're going in the opposite direction on limited production. So,
and you know what, Rock? Listen, when stuff happens, it often happens fast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast had a fantastic launch, arguably the greatest launch lineup ever in gaming history.
Yeah.
I think many would agree to that.
Oh yeah, I was there.
And it wasn't even 2 years later it was out of the console market.
Yeah.
So when things go south, it could go south fast. You know, I'm a never say never kind of guy, and these last couple of years just pretty much proved it. Because 2020, I would have never guessed Microsoft would buy Bethesda. In January, I would have nobody guessed that they're buying
Activision.
Yeah. So never. You know, I'm 100% and never say never. I'm going to live by that statement going forward. But you know, when these guys have seen gaming. When I say they've seen the history of gaming, they've been there since day one. That's how long these two have been. That's how far back their gaming knowledge goes. So and you know and oh yeah were you still saying something, Sega Man?
Yeah, but you go ahead on that, man. Then
no, I was done. I was done with my point.
Well, listen, guys, I'm laying my plane on this. I don't see them going anywhere. Like E-Rock made a big point. They could have did better with the way that they designed that console. I know you don't play the way the console will understand that, but you can tell that's a rush system. You can tell it is. It's just it's just humongous. It looks cheap. It does. It looks like it's very cheaply made, dude. There's no quality. It doesn't look like a quality system. It looks like they threw it together just to try to beat Microsoft to the punch with the Xbox Series X and S. The Series X looks like a tower. It's black. It looks like a tower. It's really cool. It's modern. It's cool. It looks like a futuristic kind of like, you know, like a game system what you would have. I'm not saying it's the more compact like the Series S. The Series S is a beautiful console. It really is. I mean, it's really thin and it's small. It's compact. And yes, that's really good looking. Also, the Series S is very attractive.
Sega Man. Say what you want about Sony, but they threw money at the PlayStation 3. You remember that console?
Yeah.
That goddamn thing was well built. It was heavy. It had Blu-ray player. They threw money at the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
A little bit too much. They invested too much money in the cell processor, and that's why they're where they're at today.
Yeah.
But like they threw money into the PS3, and to see where this console is now compared to what it used to be, that's not a good sign, man. That's not a good sign. And you're going up against this juggernaut that's just dropping 80 billion on fucking publishers. Like, I don't know, man. It don't look good. I don't know anything. I don't know shit, right? But I'm just saying, just appearances. It don't look like these guys are going to be around. God damn it! Even the damn Switch is built better than the PS5. That's frightening.
Yeah.
Switch.
Hey guys, you know what? People know this deep down because I know we gotta get to the chat and everything. Sony can. This is just hard facts. They can't beat Microsoft, guys. They can't. It doesn't matter how many consoles they bring out. If they bring out a more powerful console, Microsoft's just going to answer them with another one. Phil Spencer said this a long time ago, man. We will never be beaten in the power narrative, and I'm tired of beating that in people's fucking head. It's going to keep on happening. So it doesn't matter if they were to bring out a more powerful console. If they want to go that route, Microsoft's just going to answer them with a more powerful console. They can't beat Microsoft. They just can't. They're the software kings. They have they're like way bigger when it comes to money. You know, they can't do nothing to Microsoft. They can't. You know what I mean? If somebody is to fail, in reality, guys, it's gonna be Sony, man. They can't get rid of it's not gone anywhere. You know, that's just, you either play nice, right? Or you don't play at all. You know what I mean? And that's what I gotta say on that. Unlimited, they can't compete with Microsoft. They just can't, man.
No,
they can't.
No, in no fathomable way can they compete with Microsoft. And you know, I'm so glad that these last couple of years people are seeing that. You know, they're seeing it. They're seeing what Microsoft money does really is, man, and the power of their bank and their pockets and all that stuff. And they could call it whatever they want, but hey, man, when you own, if you got the money to own it, buy it. And look, the Xbox learned a harsh lesson from last generation.
Yes, they did.
When they didn't own the studios that were making Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive and all that, they learned a hard lesson. They said, screw it, we're just going to own everything and keep it, you know, that way when we own it, we'll never have that issue we have with Scalebound ever again. Because what are they going to do? They own Starfield, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying? So look, man, that's why I've called that this generation is the new golden age of Xbox, and we're really going to start seeing it next year with the big three games we got coming out from them with Forza, Starfield, and Redfall. By the way, they put out a video today talking about Redfall, and it was very good. It was like a 20-minute video. So if you haven't seen it, guys, check it out. And before I wrap it up, I'm a you know, we're gonna talk to the chat a little bit, call it a night, and enjoy the rest of our week. And Killer's Heaven, he said, if PS5 their last console, I don't want PlayStation fanboys to come over to Xbox. And yeah, I'm with you, man. Hopefully they find a new hobby. Hopefully they start playing with Jax or something.
Damn, you were old school.
Unlimited and E-Rock. I'm not saying this to the I know there's people that like their games, all right? And there is, you know, guys that like PlayStation and not part of this. And I would hate that to happen to them, but it's their company that's practicing the practices that they do, man. It's not the true fans' fault, but they're their own end all be all. I mean, you know, and it's kind of a shame, you know, but that sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. And it's a shame, but
it's business.
Yeah.
And but look, man, there's a PlayStation fanboy today, Sega man, he said something crazy. He said if PlayStation fans gotta pay $70 for games, everybody gotta pay $70 for games. And he said that I'm glad PlayStation is the industry leader, making everybody pay $70. That's what we're dealing with, man. And that's why I got no sympathy when shit like this happens. Because have you ever heard anybody be proud to spend more money? Who's happy with inflation right now? Because by that logic, PlayStation fans should be hyped with this inflation shit. You know, gas is $4 a gallon. Oh, fuck yeah. I love paying more for gas.
Man, it's brainwashing of the highest order. Y'all keep on hyping that shit up, man. I mean, y'all keep on hyping up them $70 games, and we'll just keep on doing Game Pass.
Yeah,
that's right. You're right too. And they can say, well, guess what, guys? Microsoft, they're going to have to one day. Okay, if they do raise the price,
we got Game Pass.
We got Game Pass. I choose to still buy, which is like because I'm a Gears head. I'm going to buy it for $70.
Yeah,
because I like Gears, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but with Game Pass, you could buy it when it's 70. You could buy it when it's 50. You could buy it when it's 20. You could buy whatever. Because look, the way that the reason why they love engagement so much is because they found out that people who are playing these games, they're still buying the microtransactions, they're still buying the DLC, or that they're having millions of players on these games, and it's bringing much success to these games. So the point of sales, as our brother Other Zinc always says, that's the important part with these games. So the price point for an Xbox game don't really matter strictly because of Game Pass. And Jeremy Brown said, I like how E-Rock mentioned Xbox values because most folks think Sony and Nintendo is worth more. Yeah, but man, it's a Google fact away. Just Google how much Xbox is worth versus the other two, and you see that Xbox as a brand is a $600 billion a brand. Real Gamer said, low key, Nintendo will outlast everyone. Their company success is based off their exclusive, which actually sells. Now, Real Gamer, I hear that a lot about Nintendo, and the only reason why I disagree is because of the Wii U. And I don't know if people remember, but when the Wii U was a failure, Nintendo literally said that the Switch was gonna, or I think the Wii U was gonna be their or the Switch was going to be their last. One of those two were going to be their last consoles if the Switch didn't have the massive success it did. So that showed me, Real Gamer, that if Nintendo don't have a gimmick that people grab to, they could easily go the way of the dinosaur as well, man. And because as much as Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda sell, they don't get money from GTA, the biggest multiplayer game out there. They don't get money from Call of Duty. The only big game they get money from is Fortnite. So they're missing out on billions of dollars of revenues that Sony and Microsoft gets because their console can't run anything modern. They're not even getting Gotham Knights, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, you're Real Gamer. Yeah, Nintendo will always be around. Yeah, he got a point because Nintendo's audience is kids, and they'll always make it through Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, and so on. But all we have to do is look no further than the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation. The Wii sold over 100 million units, right? And what happened? Developers moved on. They didn't care that there was 100 million units of the Wii out there because they couldn't get their games to fit on that outdated hardware. So
And the ones that
Nintendo
did,
will
and the
exist in
ones
that
that
space, and that's it.
Yeah, and the ones that did run were running so terribly nobody bought them, which is the situation they still have today with many multiplats. That even if they do make it, they're the worst version of these games. The Witcher 3 ran at like 12 fucking frames per second on the Switch. Who's
Mm-hmm.
gonna spend? And the game was like full price when it released too. So who's gonna spend $50-$60 just to play at 15 frames per second when the consoles now could play it at 4K and all that stuff? So until Nintendo realizes that third party matters, their reliance on their exclusives, yeah, it's going to keep them afloat. But I don't know, man. Kids are fickle and kids grow up fast and they get out of shit fast. And so I don't know. I don't know if Pokemon's always going to be popular with the next generation of kids. Because once kids are out of Fortnite, then there's going to be some next mega popular game. Somehow, and look, somehow Minecraft is the one outlier because that game been popular since it came out for like a decade now. But Minecraft is a major minority. Kids aren't the biggest target audience. That's all I'm saying.
Imagine coming to work every day, right? And you're going into a boardroom meeting at Nintendo, and I sit down as a 53-year-old gentleman. All right, E-Rock, Sega Man, what's our next gimmick? Like, what? The fuck do I know? I don't know what the next gimmick. These motherfuckers are over here, they've cornered the market with a game service. And we're figuring out what our next. We've already invented a fucking paddle. We've already invented cardboard. I don't know what the fuck to think next to fucking get these people. Like right. That's where Nintendo is at right now. Like, what are we going to? We're going to sell another fucking Mario? Like, are we going to corner the kids from now into perpetuity? Meanwhile, Microsoft is going to be getting the lion's share of the third-party deals, the lion's share of the money, the Call of Duty money. I don't know, man. To me, that's backwards thinking, and that's not who Nintendo was in the 1990s.
Right, and not only that, E-Rock, Microsoft has a children's game in Minecraft and Roblox, and others think always talk about how popular that Roblox
Super
game
Lucky's
is.
Tale. Super
Lucky's Tales, yeah. So they got kiddie games, but they also understand adults have something called disposable income, and not all of us have kids, and not all of us, and even if we have kids, most of us only buy them stuff on Christmas, birthdays, and special occasions. I don't know. Maybe Sega Man was like my dad and buys his kids everything. So, but them parents are rare. But but people like me, you see my collection of games. I didn't buy that for kids. I bought that for myself. So you can't just limit yourself to kids. Is all I'm saying. And Channel here said, not crying for Blockbuster VHS when I could streaming 4K and not going to cry for Sony when they go out of business. When I could play God of War on 12 teraflops. Yeah, man. If they ever go third party, that's just the case. People just gonna move on. Let's see. Fury had said Nintendo hardly likely to outlast anyone because they depend on the same games every year. Yeah, I mean, they're fortunate that for some reason, even 40-year-olds who lives with their moms are buying Mario. So I don't know. Nintendo. Maybe I'm wrong about Nintendo. Maybe I'm just overly negative on you.
You're not wrong about Nintendo. It's just that they will always exist in a niche where they're selling Mario, they're selling Zelda, and people are going to keep buying it, and they're going to be where they are, making these low-powered consoles. But I'm telling you right now, man, we're already in the Unreal Engine 5 era. Yeah. And when you see Hellblade, and when you see the next Call of Duty, and when you see the next, there's a demo out there called The Matrix. Okay, the Matrix demo. It's just a taste of what Unreal Engine 5 is. I don't get how you want to limit yourself and not be in that space where you can run these next generation engines, which Nintendo will never do because they're always looking for the next gimmick. Yeah, you'll exist, but don't be surprised if Nintendo is soon in a position where they're third place. Oh, E-Rock, that'll never happen. Oh, you think not? You think not? Let Game Pass get 100 million subscribers. Let it get 200 million subscribers. Let it get 300 million subscribers. Then we'll see where Nintendo is at. You mark my words. Oh, that'll never happen, E-Rock. You don't know. We never thought that Activision would fucking sell, but they did.
Yeah. And what's up, Prime? Prime says the boys are back in time. Yeah, man, you're right. And anytime you want to join us, man, you know what to do. Let's see, Bobby Dazzle said PS5 owners are selling to get Xbox to play this game. What game are you referring to, Bobby?
Probably Call of Duty.
Yeah, probably. He said Redfall looks at the adverts. PS5 owner. He's saying people trying to sell their PS5 to pay Redfall. Yeah, man, Redfall looks fantastic. And don't sleep on Arcane. They've got an amazing track record of great games.
But and you know what too? To add to that, Unlimited. And E-Rock. Look at the studios. Look, they were done when we got Microsoft Studios with the Initiative. You know what I mean? They don't even really have. They have what, Naughty Dog, Bungie. But look at all that's under the layers of Microsoft Studios, man.
It's ridiculous.
That's what I mean. They can't compete. Nintendo can't either. He might have a little bit of a point about that, but I mean, I don't see Nintendo. Nintendo, to me, in my opinion, cannot outlast Microsoft's Xbox. I don't see that.
No.
Well, they don't have to. You know what? I'm not trying to be the voice of reason. I'm just telling you what I've seen from these Nintendo motherfuckers. Look, I don't get it either. I don't get how motherfuckers are still buying Zelda and Mario. I do not fucking get it. I do not understand it. I've played them. They're great games, but I do not want to be 53 years old sitting up here trying to say Princess Goddamn Peach. Okay. They built a built-in audience for the next millennium that are going to buy Zelda and Mario. But what's going to happen is they're going to get left behind by Game Pass. And they're going to be good where they're at third place. They're going to make billions being in third place. But right. They will never have that market that Xbox is going to have with Call of Duty. And Xbox and Microsoft buying Bethesda, ZeniMax, and buying Activision was a goddamn show of force.
Yeah. That
was the show of force we always wanted them to do. So now they don't need to compete with Nintendo. They don't need to compete with Sony. They're competing by themselves now. Right. They're in a whole different. Listen, Sony just came out and said, "Man, this ain't fair. Why'd you take Call of Duty? God damn it! These motherfuckers are sweating bullets." So you don't think for 2 minutes Nintendo's somewhere looking like, "Oh damn, them motherfuckers have bought everybody." Like they know, but they can self-sustain off of Mario, Zelda, and fucking and Mario Kart. I don't understand it. I don't get it. How you can survive being stuck in yesterday, but Nintendo somehow manages to do it. They'll be a comfortable third place. Mark my fucking words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know you're right because modern gaming history has shown pretty much since the Wii era that they love it. They love that. Bobby Dazzle said Nintendo avoids the fanboy stuff. Nah, they're Nintendo fanboys, Dazzle. It's just that their bedtime is 8 o'clock.
Outstanding. Good. Outstanding.
They said Nintendo keeps kids away from fanboys. Nah, nah, man. I'm telling you, man. They just going to bed right now. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
That was a good one. That's past their bedtime, man. It's too late for them to be up.
Yeah. And that's pretty much everything. So I think with that we're going to call it a night, man. It was great show as always. With my brother E-Rock and Sega Man decided to join us. So we're going to call it a night there. And everybody, oh yeah. E-Rock X, let them know where they can find you.
Hey, man, you can find me on the E-Rock X channel, man, where we just do gaming over there and have a good time. And always great to come out and hang out with my brothers, man, and spit these facts and talk gaming. And as always, bye bye.
Yeah, and Sega Man, let them know where they can find you, man.
Hey man, great show again, Unlimited on the Unlimited Truth, man. It's great to do another podcast with my brother Unlimited and E-Rock, man, and hopefully I can join you guys again next weekend. Next week on Thursday, man. This was a good show, man. And you guys can always find me on my channel at Sega Man 101 on the Xbox Alpha on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays, man. But if I'm busy, I'll let you guys know because of the family thing. I don't get to do it all like consistently, but I'm trying to get to that, guys, where I have a consistence of the Alpha podcast, man. And as I said, guys, and I'll say it again, and I hear people saying this in their podcast, man, other ones, we're eating good over here, man. We're eating good over here on the Xbox side, which is the best side. That's all I got to say about that. Peace.
Yeah. Hey, and everybody, Bobby Dazzle, Jeremy Brown, KTJ Gaming, everybody who joined us, have a great weekend. And you know the deal, man.